What it do, what it do, what it do. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. From wherever in the world that you're tuning in from, welcome to the Mo Malele Show. And me, Mo Malele, is welcoming you. Firstly, apologies for the tardiness. We do sincerely apologize. We are trying to run a professional operation over here, even with wires hanging out on the background and whatnot. It is low budget, but we're working on it. We're going to get better at it. I promise you. But thank you so much for joining us from wherever in the world you're joining us. This is Mo Malele Show, where we showcase and highlight stories from ordinary people doing extraordinary things and want to give them a platform to tell their story and own their narrative. Today, we've got an amazing gentleman. And you know, on this show, we love talking to people that are starting something from nothing. And if you've ever done that, you know how hard it is to start something from nothing and maintain that something that you started. And today we've got a great guy, has an amazing voice, by the way, but you know, we'll get into all of the things that are amazing about him. The name is Christopher Colby. Chris, how are you doing? Can you say hi to the people over there? How are you doing?
Good day. I tell you what, as soon as somebody calls me Christopher, I think it's my mom somewhere. It's only my mom who calls me Christopher. And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, no, I'm in trouble already. We just started chatting.
Yeah, but I actually like to call you Christopher because everyone calls you Chris. And I feel like when I say Christopher, it's like, what? Who is that? So I cannot command or demand your attention just by doing that. But I fully get what you're saying because my name is Mo, right? But it's not my full name. And the only people who call me by my full name, which is Homoto, are my family. And then my mom will sometimes call me by like my other traditional name. And when she does it, then I know that like, I'm like this close to being a 30-year-old woman getting a spanking. So I try to stay away from doing anything that might get me like full namehood. But Chris, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for making the time to talk to the people and to share your story. And for the people, just to give people a better background. And obviously, you know, at some point, I'm going to stop talking and you're going to do the talking. But as I was chatting to Chris during the week, we were prepping for the interview, because we were just hanging out and having a conversation. One of the things that stuck with me from the chat that we were having, when we were talking about the projects you're working on and, you know, how the interview is going to roll out is when I asked you, you know, what's like the main message, or like the main thread of the things that you want to come across. And, you know, it was so profound what you said. It actually stuck with me. And you said that your main thread is how can I help you make a difference? And that's what this man is here to do. He's here to help you make a difference. And we're here to help you tell that story of how you make a difference in the world out there. Like I said, hashtag ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So Chris, tell the people a bit about yourself, you know, and what you're up to.
Okay. It's also fun to be the interviewee for a change. But look, right? I worked in corporate for most of my life. I was very lucky to study and all of those things. I've worked in various different industries. I worked in radio. I did media work. I worked as a marketing manager for big companies. And I reached a point in my life where it was burning me out. I just couldn't deal with the bottom line corporate life anymore, where a person's just a number, they a seat filler, and you know, you just got to push and work and work and work, and nobody actually really cares. So I took a bold move a year and a half ago. 2020 was going to be the year. January, opened my business. Yeah, live to dream. Going to be the big year, big projects in the pocket. We're going to do this. Hey, and you know what? Life happens. It changes. Yeah. Who would have thought? And we're still here, and we're going to be here for a long time. So when I started the business, I wanted to move away from that corporate side. And in actual fact, to fault, because I did it so seriously that I didn't earn any money for a year and a half, because I was so hell-bent on I'm going to make a difference. I want any work that I do must make a difference. It must improve a business's life, a person's life. It must help them grow, because I was so tired of that corporate, you know, you just got to fill and do the work and deadline. I wanted to move away from that. So yeah, I took the model like way to the wrong side, and started looking after everybody but myself, and now finding the balance. But the most important thing is anything I do, I really want to help people. And I think that's why you and I get on so well, because we're on a very similar mission, because I want to give businesses, especially small enterprises and entrepreneurs, a space where they can learn and grow, specifically in business development and marketing. But on the other side, providing platforms for them with an audience that they have the opportunity to tell their story. We know telling your story is so vitally important, but you don't have the funds, the access, the platforms, the channels, the audience, or you're not even comfortable being in front of a camera and being recorded. And that's where I can help. That's where I like getting in. I get to meet amazing people, hear their story, learn about them, grow with them, show them, highlight them, cheerlead them. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine working with this guy with his energy and his voice, and he's just amazingness to tell your story? This is like guy you need to get a hold of. So what are the other projects that you're running? So like, how do you go about doing this? I know there's some specific stuff that you're actually doing at the moment that is in this space. So tell the people a bit about that. Yeah.
Okay. So on the marketing side of things, I offer a quick 2 1-hour Zoom session workshops. That takes companies through to the very basics of marketing. You know, they're heading out there with advertising and social media and spend on there, but they don't have the basics of marketing or an understanding of what marketing is. So I take them through a worked out workshop on how to learn about that and how to implement marketing in their business. That's the marketing sphere inside of things. Then on the video content creation side of things, I've got a few projects in the pipeline and that are rolling out. One is Biz Talks, 30-minute Zoom recorded interview, much like what we're doing now. But I use my radio background and my experience on that to interview people, to bring them out of their shell, make them feel more comfortable, because you're not just recording yourself, you're actually just having a chat with me. It's like having a coffee with a new friend and telling your story. So we do that natural conversation, recorded. I post edit it, put the branding in for you, send it to you. It's your content. You can do what you want with it, and then post it onto the channels, which I'm busy building and getting the audience to. That helps you there. There's also a TV channel that's in the pipeline as well that it'll get posted to. So doing that. I produce quick videos for people, so I can present it and script it and do it for you, or I help you through the process. If you've got an announcement you want to make, you want to do a quick 2-minute short, powerful impact video about your latest offering or what it is that you're doing, training, tutorials, all of those kind of videos, we can do that together. And then working very closely with Explore PROTECH, creating their platforms and growing their platforms so that we can highlight those entrepreneurs and share that knowledge and content with everybody to help them grow as well. So those are the things I'm busy with, amongst a few others.
Yeah, and there are a few others, but we could be here for the eternity of all YouTube videos, past and present and in the future, if we decide to speak about that.
Yeah.
But what I will say though, from hearing you speak, is that there's a couple of things that come out, right? So the first thing is, when you talk about the year 2020, and I didn't know that Live to Dream was actually a 2020 baby, that it's COVID baby. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening right now, and this might get shared and whatnot, that are just sitting in the same boat, right? That are because 2020 was actually dubbed the year 20plenty. It was a hashtag 20plenty. It's going to be plentiful. We're all going to be prosperous, and it's going to be abundance and in abundance and whatnot. And for a lot of us, it actually delivered the exact opposite. We all had to sort of pivot and change ideas and get used to all of that. So if you're in that boat and you're still pivoting, I'm still pivoting. Chris is still pivoting. We all, Explore PROTECH, which we know who are the people that are bringing you the show, are also still pivoting. We're all learning as we go. And, you have to understand that the reality is, being an entrepreneur or starting something from nothing, actually, even if you don't see yourself as an entrepreneur, is really about building the plane as you're flying it. That's just really the truth about it. And there's going to be all of these things, just as you think you're ready. I've saved up enough. I've done enough research. I've done everything. This is my niche. Then COVID happens, and none of what you had planned can actually happen because we're all at home for months. So I want to say to those people that it's okay for the plan to change and for you to have, And at the end of this, I'm going to say something when I give you guys the thought of the week. About how important it is to, receive the benefits and enjoy the journey, but maybe not, let it out just yet. But Chris, so one thing I always ask people, and as an entrepreneur, I think sometimes we get too close to our ideas, and this is something that always runs up in my head when I play devil's advocate on the work I'm doing, is why it's important and why should we care? It's a very robust question, but I always think it's important for us to be able to articulate that and to also know it and carry it ourselves. So the work that you're doing with all the different projects, to the people out there, I know why it's important. You know why it's important, but the people out there, why?
So it's sort of carrying on with what you're saying about 2020 was supposed to be 2020 and plans didn't work out. And everybody's been sitting back and waiting. Oh, it's going to be 6 months. Oh, it's going to be another 2 months. I tell you what, life, business, everything, it's different. It's changed. Now, the tagline for Live to Dream is be courageous. And I always encourage people to be courageous and learn and try new things. The Wright brothers are known for inventing the airplane and doing the first. Now, how many planes did they crash in the process? You're going to fail. You're going to crash. But I tell you what, the only way you're going to eventually get that plane up and going is by doing. So think creative, get an open mind. And it seems like I might have had an internet glitch, but it seems, let's see if it's buffering.
We can still hear you. We can still hear you.
Ultimately,
we lost Chris. There we go. Yeah, we're still with you.
There we go. We're back. How far was I? Because I was ranting for a little bit there by myself. But long story short, how many planes did they?
Yeah.
Long story short, how many planes did the Wright brothers crash before they got it right? You're going to fail. You're going to have crashes, but you've got to keep doing it. Be courageous. Keep going out there. Be creative. Think of new ways and new models and ideas of way to do things. And that's why what I'm doing is important, because I want to make a success not only for myself, but also to say, hey, guys, this is a case study. You can do it. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep pushing. And it's important because we're creating opportunities and voices for each other to share, support, and uplift each other. There's so many amazing people doing such amazing work. Let's share that.
Yeah, fantastic. That leads me to the next thing, which is how can we support that? So if people are listening to this, they want to get in touch with you, or they love what you're doing, they want more of it. How can we and the people of the interweb support this mission, support the work that you're doing?
Okay, my South African internet, I got the gist of it, but my South African internet's picking a great time to be unstable. But anyway, you know what? I always say
it's on a tea break.
Never underestimate the power of having a conversation with somebody. You never know what can come from that conversation. So it's very simple. If you want to find out more, you'd like to connect. I love connecting with people. I like connecting people with each other as well. My details will be down below in the video. I'm a friendly person, surprisingly. Buffering again. This is mildly frustrating. There we go. Right. I'm a friendly person. So just hit me up on my channels, email, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. Let's set up a conversation. Let's have that conversation first, and then I can see how I can help you.
Fantastic. If you guys did not get that, these details will be down below. It's the part of the show where I do this. You all know I like to speak with my hands, so now it's relevant. Do this. It will all be there. LinkedIn, he's everywhere on social media. We'll make sure that if you want to talk about it, most definitely. Christopher or Chris, do you have any sort of parting words for people who are out there, wanting to start something from nothing, wanting to start something new? Anything that you wish you knew back then that you know now? Just anything that you want to leave with the people.
Don't doubt yourself. One of the things that held me back the most from the start was the haters, including my own family, who should know me better. But you give them this thing, and I'm doing this thing I'm so passionate about, and I believe in it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make a success. And then they go, are you sure about that, Chris? How well is that going to work out for you? And it's when you start questioning yourself, that's when things don't go. If you believe in what you're doing, the best thing you can do is just do it. Just take that first step. That first step is the hardest one, and never give up. One of the biggest life lessons I've learned is I've always given up just as I'm about to reach that finish line.
Yeah.
Because they're one step closer. You never know if that contract, that sponsor, that big bomb that you've been working so hard for, could be just that one step closer. So never give up. I promise you, you're going to have days that really suck. You don't think you're worth anything. You're going to never get anywhere. You have those days, accept them, move on. Just don't give up. They're one step away from that big contract.
Yeah, that's truth. Those are beautiful words, actually. Never give up. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. You just don't know. Tomorrow, like Chris is so right, tomorrow could be the day that the client calls you and says, we've got the budget, it's been approved. Let's press play on those plans. And then you gave me before. And that's actually one of the things that haunts me is that idea that if I gave up today, like tomorrow could be the day that I get it. Like tomorrow could be the day that I make the call that somebody takes and says, oh yeah, we love what you're doing. Like come through, we've got budget for that. It always like haunts me. So that is so true. Don't give up. Keep at it. And to the point you're making, make sure, about family and about people not believing you and them doubting you. There are people in your life, and I heard this, recently, but there are people in your life who, when you come to them with ideas and like things that you want to do, they don't really support it, and they'll be your first doubters and your first like people like, I'm not sure about that. And that's because their idea of like supporting you and loving you is to shy you away from your truest self and like the potential that you have. Because they're like, yo, bro, that's risky. Like if you do that, it doesn't work. And we love you. We don't want you to fail. But that's the idea of loving you and supporting you. And that's all good and well, but it's not the right way. You need people that are going to like be the wind that, helps you do this. So that's a great, parting word. Thank you so much, Christopher. I really appreciate you.
They're trying to protect you. And the other thing is the power of if. If you say to yourself, if this doesn't work, I am going to have a problem. Reframe it, change it from a different angle and say, what if this does work? What if this does work? So every time you hear that what if of negative, go, well, what if it does work? What if I get that phone call tomorrow and I get that big contract or sponsor I've been wanting? I would feel terrible if I woke up tomorrow and closed up doors and walked away and I didn't answer the phone to that one because I've worked a year and a half to get there.
Dude.
So what if they call?
That haunts me. Sleepless nights come from that. All right, Christopher, it's been wonderful. I'm sure we'll definitely have you back at some point in time. Like I said, this conversation, like even when we connect on a one-on-one level, we always end up being like, next meeting, I've got to go to the next meeting. And the conversations are like always in the middle because we have so much to talk about and cover, and so I always love engaging and talking with you. So thank you so much for coming through and, making some time. And yeah, man, have a blessed day further. And I'm sure you can now, ease into your evening. It's evening for us here in South Africa. So you can ease into. Fantastic.
And Mo, episode 2 done. Well done. You've taken those first 2 steps. And I'm telling you, you keep doing them. It's going to grow. It's been an absolute pleasure joining you and a privilege. Thank you.
Fantasticals. All right, people of the interwebs, that was Chris Colby. As you know, it's that time of the show where I say, if you want to get in touch with me, with him, with Explore PROTECH and the rest of the Looney Tune family, that is this wonderful tribe, you know that you need to do this. And remember, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So if you're sitting at home saying, but I'm ordinary, I could never do this stuff, that's the whole point of the show, is to show you that we all have a piece of extraordinariness in us, and we can do the extraordinary as we feel. So the thought of the week, y'all know I'm a poet, philosopher, many other things. So I'm always going to leave you with a little bit of something that's roaming around in my brain. But this was something that I actually heard this past week from one of our fellow tribe members, Ava Frayan. And she was sharing a message of hope. She's an amazing woman. She'll also be on the show at some point, but she was sharing a message of hope for entrepreneurs. And her message was, I want to get it right, was receive the side benefits. We often talk about side hustles and like, you got to do this, you got to do that, multiple streams of income. The average billionaire has like 6 or 7 streams of income. You got to do that. But like, blew my mind when she was like, fam, you gotta receive the side benefits. You might start something and be on this journey and it might not work out. But at the end of that journey, you're a different person. Like the business didn't work out, maybe it failed. Maybe the project didn't work out. Maybe the relationship didn't work out the way you wanted or thought it would. But you're not the same person you were when you got into it. And there's something to be said for that. Those are side benefits that you should be allowing yourself to see. This blew my mind. I'm copyright infringement, but I am, doing my little Harvard, referencing what's I need to do. That was a message from Hope. It is on the channel, actually, the sport channel. It's on there, message of Hope for entrepreneurs. You can check it out. But remember, and I always say this, remember, the journey is more important than the destination. The journey makes a person. And sometimes the destination can and will change because you change, because the journey changes you. And that's okay. Let yourself to receive the side benefits of the journey that you're on and the life you're living. That's me. Each time is done. My name is Mo Malele. This has been the Mo Malele Show, brought to you by Explore PROTECH. Thank you all of you for tuning in, listening in. As usual, please, please, please like, share, comment, make a trend, do the hashtags, do all of the social media things to make this algorithm thing work and help us build this platform to give more ordinary people doing extraordinary things a voice to make more extraordinariness in the world. I love you. I thank you. Stay blessed, stay safe, and stay sane. Deuces.